Alright, welcome everyone, double check, yep, we are good. This is VR Master League Challengers Cup, Day 1, Group A. We have Master Gaming VR, or also known as Master Shadow, versus Destructor, and they are both playing the Beaumont US Armor Division. I am joined here by gnuman, who will be my co-caster today.
Hello.
And it should be a pretty good match. Sorry we had to delay this match to be a little bit later than expected, but now that we are good, we'll have this match, then another match right after this, and then that will be the end of day 1. So, to see what players are doing on this very foggy map, reminds me of China, we have Destructor on the, just sending out a fighter. Assumedly he will be strafing the infantry, but Master is already re-engaging with his own fighter to sort of send Destructors back. See if we have any troop trucks here. Neither player is opting in for the troop trucks, and we have music playing. We have music playing in the observer mode, but nothing else. So that's great. But as you can see, it's just an air battle right now between who can push each other's lanes of infantry first to get some more lane pressure. Looks like Destructor is going for some early upgrades, as well as actually both players are just going for the early upgrade rushes, which is why we don't see much units on the map.
Yeah, they're probably both trying to tear up for the Calliopes, because this is not really a ATG map.
Yeah, definitely true. There is no many. There's only like kind of 2 good places to put ATGs on this map, which would be the kind of opposite ends of the corners in the middle of the map. And other than that, yeah, it's definitely better for the Calliope. There's so many hills, so many trees to hide behind, and that's where the Calliope truly shines.
Yeah, the only places I've found on this map for ATGs are defending your base and making the final push on the enemy base.
Yep, completely agreed. Let's see, so we are seeing a couple artillery from Destructor, as well as a couple troop trucks in his base. You can see over here, 1 per each lane to get both a little more infantry pressure in each lane. It's interesting to see what players like to do with their troop trucks. Some like to kind of focus all in with their troop trucks in 1 lane.
Oh, and Master Gaming has a Calliope out.
Yep, already taking out that little artillery here that was trying to get on a loot crate spot that actually was not being targeted by the drop plane. Instead, it dropped in the middle, and Destructor still got it though.
And Destructor's putting an ATG out to assault the towers.
Wow, we already see a Calliope already right here attacking Destructor's tower right here, just putting 1 mid. There's nothing to really stop that right now. Destructor will probably have either a Calliope coming out. Looks like he is saving for that right now. That's looks like what he's doing. Other options he could have done is just send a couple tanks or a couple jeeps at it, since that Calliope is kind of alone.
Oh, here comes Tank and Artie out to challenge the Calliope.
Yep, there we go. Did not completely finish taking out that tower, and the Calliope is finally sort of retargeting right now the lane by auto, and the tank is getting close enough, gets 1 pot shot on. Pretty good damage. Tanks are actually pretty good against Calliopes if you get them close enough. It's just generally kind of hard to get them close enough when they are starting to get more defenses up. As you can see, Master is placing some defensive tanks around the Calliope finally.
Yeah, it's the hardest part about tank versus Calliope is you can dodge the rockets with a tank until you get close to the Callie. Then it will just hit you with everything.
I don't think that was the win. Someone took out one of
First tower finally does go down. Well, we have some ATGs in the middle now. Very interesting place for it. I mean, I get it, but I don't really like the spot as much as the corners of the map, but it will do some tower damage. They did recently, and I say recently, like 3 or 4 weeks ago, nerf the tower damage from these ATGs, so even though it is getting a few pot shots, it's not really doing that much damage alone by itself.
Is that crate there that no one's picking up?
I don't know. I think we had an observer bug earlier related to crates getting.
Okay, so
This one though I don't think was picked up.
it looks like neither player is actually going for it, despite having jeeps and etc. So they probably got it, and we just see it.
Yep. That jeep definitely just went through that crate. So that must be a new bug that's literally been added to the recent hotfix.
Well, we've got a two-pronged attack and defense going on. 3 now. Destructor trying to push all lanes at the same time. Master Gaming trying to retain the sky control, but Destructor's not allowing it.
Yep, for sure. We have. It looks like it's going to be pretty soon a ballet Calliopes pretty soon here. It's just you're just gonna keep seeing a lot of Calliopes kind of just running around in circles, attacking each other, seeing who gets the most accurate barrage on them. You can see it's happening on literally both lanes right now, and whoever kind of wins will be able to push down the middle of or down the lane with their Calliopes and probably take the game. But until then, it's gonna be a battle of rock paper scissors right here in the middle lane.
We got Destructor pulling out some troop trucks stealthily, pushing the lanes with infantry.
Yeah, so let's see. Still only 2 troop trucks from Destructor. It's doing a little bit. You can see the lanes are pushing favor. Oh.
Yep, the infantry is actually pushing all the way up to Master Gaming's defensive artillery. 1 troop truck when your enemy doesn't have any is a huge advantage in a lane.
Yeah, definitely. It's very true. I don't see much defenses from Master's actual inside his base. He has the 1 ATG and a few tanks, and that actually the planes are in a defensive loop, so it will be very hard for these basic infantry that only Beaumont has to push against that.
Tanks going backwards up the hill. Probably going to get 1 shot.
Good movement of the middle lane. The tank's taking out the artillery. Now where will he send that now? He took out pretty much all the middle stuff, but the Calliopes on the hill are probably the scariest situation for Master right now.
Yeah, I know I hate to see Calliopes on top of the mountain in this level. There's hardly anything you can do to get them. Just a few narrow passages to send tanks up.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of gotta hope that your artillery or Calliope just kind of take them out slowly over time. And other than that, yeah, I do agree. It's just kind of hard, and especially since their range is so high, they will be able to take a lot of tower shots, and even a lot of the units inside the base from this hill is getting some of the damage from those hill Calliopes. Insane range from these bad boys, gotta say.
Here comes an ATG from Destructor. Slowly moving up the middle.
Yeah, I don't know if this ATG going through the middle is just like both players are seemingly doing this. It's just not a very good place. These rocks that are precariously placed, kind of blocking between the middle and the towers, is just not going to do much there compared to the side lanes, in my opinion.
Yeah, with all those rock barriers, there's not really anything it can do in the middle, except get shot.
Yep. Another good place for these ITGs is the good old turtle maneuver. As you can see, Master has 1, 2, 3 inside his base. It'll be very hard for any armor pushes in these side lanes while these guys are there.
Master Gaming with an air advantage, but not really using it except defensively.
Kind of confused about this.
Calliope down on Destructor's side, taken out by a bunch of tanks.
Let me try to fix that. Okay, that should fix it, maybe. Test 1, 2. Okay. So yeah, just be a uphill battle for both players, literally. A lot of hills here, so there's a lot of uphill battles to be made. getting worse bugs on my end over time with the observer mode. I noticed that this thing kind of happened more on certain maps than others, and this is one of those maps I tend to have trouble with, despite changing all my computer parts too. So I don't know. This is a. We do have a lot of tanks coming down this left side lane by Destructor. Will be a pretty good push. The Calliope down on this bottom ridge here will do pretty well, do some damage to these tanks, but as long as they keep moving, the tanks will dodge the fire. Just slowly regaining control of this area. It's pretty interesting that Shadow, just by purely turtling, was able to capture that area in the first place, but we also have Shadow, Master Gaming have a single tank in the right lane, just slowly pushing as well.
Oh, Bradley, Splaticus says I'm too loud on your stream.
Yeah, I can do that right now. All right, test 1, 2, 3. I might have fixed it. Not sure.
Test. That's a lot better. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Turn me down to like another tad.
Okay. All right. Okay, this might be better then, even more. So we can see here how these stalemates go between the two Beaumonts. Beaumont versus Beaumont mirror matches on maps like this are just tending to be kind of the situation of just Calliope versus Calliope, tank versus tank. Not much that either player can do to stop each other. They don't have like an air unit like Gallon, for example, that can kind of push from the air on these ground units that are just kind of sticking around on these hilly areas. So we tend to see this happen a lot more with the actual.
See, Master Gaming making kind of a desperate attempt to take out the Calliope with the plane.
Yep, that's I always like seeing that, no matter what. Oh, wow, did it work there? They look like it kind of worked there, but okay, that's one Calliope down for each side. They both lost one in an engagement on this right hill. We see an air battle happening right now between Master and Destructor. One plane attacking this single fighter goes down. That plane's getting chased by another fighter. Does not seem. One more run will probably kill it. All right, that fire is gone for good. That's for sure. Let's see, we have any change of troop trucks? Still 2 troop trucks from both sides, according to my screen. It would kind of be interesting to see more troop trucks from either side, especially since the Calliopes seem to want to target infantry more often, so being able to spawn more infantry at once will be able to kind of allow the player to sort of push against the Calliopes in their own way when they're so focused on the infantry. And if they don't focus on the infantry will push very hard against these guys. ATGs can only do so much against infantry. Yeah, they do pretty well, actually, because they shoot that straight line through the piercing shot, but still, I still would like to see a little bit more troop trucks this game.
Yeah, infantry are great distractions for Calliopes. And more cost effective than sending a swarm of jeeps.
That is definitely for sure. This ATG probably going down here. Is this even alive? I actually don't know if this exists. There might be certain things on my screen that don't actually exist in the game due to reasons, so whoops. See all these tanks up on the hill getting just taken out by these 2 Calliopes without really much going on. This guy, my god, look at the health on this boy. Jeez. Oh! That was taken out by a fighter, I do believe. One of the rare chances to see a fighter taking out a Calliope. Always very satisfying when it happens.
Well, he used his air dominance.
Yeah. But we still don't see like any actual pushes from either side. They're trying, but it's like I said, it's hard for both players. We got a couple of jeeps and a tank here on this one point. And we see Destructor is sending something out from his garage to take that point, especially now there seems to be a loot crate drop, but is on the other side. The side I believe that one point Destructor had full control over. Yes, he did. He probably got that crate.
Yeah, looks like Master Gaming is making a nice push down that side lane.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The net worth difference is pretty insane. Of course, most of those units are the ATGs and the units that he has inside his base that is counting toward his net worth. But yeah, we saw earlier, like, Destructor was pushing very hard but could not completely finish over time, and the turtle and comeback strat is actually working. We can see finally a couple tanks from Master Gaming reaching this side, but it's going to get taken out by these Calliope and artillery combo that he did not really focus on with those tanks.
Yeah, he did mess up Destructor's map control, though. Now it's a little leaning towards Master Gaming, but he may have overextended.
Yep, that is true. He did lose quite a few units there, including a Calliope in that lane. And he has a lot of planes flying around, so a lot of that net worth, like I said, is not really units that he can use to end the game anytime soon. Calliope mid from both sides. It's going to be a Calliope battle right here. Master sending his back to try to dodge. Also got a couple tanks in the middle as well to give this Calliope a little bit more cover. The ATG placement right here might be really good if the, yep, already got one good shot onto the Calliope. And that tank's going to go down, and if he sends those tanks fast enough to this Calliope, that thing will go down very easily. It's already only targeting one. This tank will get in. We'll probably shoot it down. One more shot will take out this Calliope. Oh, the artillery just barely killing this tank. If that tank got a little bit closer to that artillery, it would not have been able to fire there. So he is perfect timing with that.
There goes the ATG. Destructor pushing back from the mountain.
Yeah, that was a... Jeez, everyone's losing their units. Like, a lot of stalemates because both teams are just, like, losing the same amount of units in each engagement.
Yep, looks like Destructor was leaning more towards Calliopes in the beginning of the match, and Master Gaming is now coming back to Calliopes, so they're pretty much even as far as their unit distribution, with Master Gaming leaning slightly towards ATGs in preference over Calliopes.
Yeah, definitely. We see a lot of units are just kind of all over the place, all over the map on my screen. 24 Jeeps? What? Wait, what? That must be a bug, dude. That's
it shows that he has 12 on my screen. We're probably both out of sync.
Yeah, we're both bugging out here for sure.
I don't see 12 on the map.
Yeah, I can't find it any. Like, I see like maybe 3 or 4 Jeeps from his side. I would like to see 24 Jeeps. That'd be interesting.
If you could only control them all.
Actually, there's not even the net. Oh no, I was gonna say I thought the net worth wasn't changing, but no, it is actively changing. But I don't know how correct it is because I think it's calculating the Jeeps too.
Net worth 239. That can't be right, can it? He doesn't have that many more units.
I don't think so, and I don't even know if these units over here exist on my screen. Like, I think only one of them might exist. No, they exist. They're just not sitting. They're just not doing anything. All right, we have 2 Calliopes finally attacking Destructor's base. We'll probably take that out fairly quickly. Will be very good for Master Gaming because, I mean, that'll be the only thing that's kind of slowing down these infantry. Towers do a lot of defensive capabilities. There's only 1 artillery defending in this base, and once that tower goes down, he'll be able to send those 2 tanks in to take out the artillery with basically no damage. However, he did send his Calliopes back. I wonder if there's a push happening on his end that's causing him to do that. I do not see one happening though.
Looks like he's just regrouping the Calliopes.
Yeah, it does seem so. He did lose the tank for free because he was not really microing and the artillery was just taking free shots at it. But that tower is finally going down. You can see the tank is going into the base. Barely taken out by the artillery just in time, but the Calliope is locked onto it. Artillery got one little pot shot out before it died. Did some pretty good damage, but This tower, man. That tower is literally on life support.
Left, and Destructor saves the tower,
Dude.
but the ATG is gonna get it, maybe. Yep, that's down.
Did. Alright,
We
so
are
he
now
got the
at
tower, but lost like, what, $48 worth of Calliopes. Pretty rough, but...
we're
we'll
2-2 on towers.
Yeah, we'll probably see just more Calliopes being sent out for offensive reasons at this point. Towers are down, so at this point he can get a Calliope very close enough if he decides to do that to attack directly at the base. Especially since Destructor doesn't really have any turtling units inside his base. He's sending back one of his Calliopes for defensive purposes, but other than that, that's all he has. He does have this one ATG artillery outside his base, but they're all kind of grouped up in a very precarious position. So if there's a Calliope incoming at any moment, those will all just kind of bite the bullet.
Yeah, he's putting his defenses outside of his base mostly, possibly to avoid tempting barrage targets, but neither player seems to be barraging.
Yeah, US has a very good barrage, and compared to the German B2, I actually love using the USA barrage if I have the money for it. But I guess the way these players see it is their stack Calliopes are like a US barrage with the unit, so that might be one reason why they have the mindset of not using it at all. And there's not that many stacked units, I guess that would be worth it. Maybe for Destructor, earlier in the game when the Master was turtling, he could have used the barrage, very easily taking out all these group units turtling inside his base. Very unfortunate for Master, he is having all these tanks and stuff push in the lane, but Destructor, I mean, he's regained this hill with the 2 Calliopes, and there's no way to stop this right now, except with this one Calliope that is targeting, takes one out, actually, takes out a Jeep as well, so as long as this Calliope is targeting correctly, we'll maybe kill the last of Destructor's defenses. Both are targeting each other, but it looks like Destructor's gets a little bit more damage. Neither are killing the other.
Calliope
Oh,
sniping
no.
match. So Master Gaming actually has a small handicap in this instance because there are infantry to distract his Calliope, while Destructor's infantry... Oh, nope. Now Master Gaming has infantry.
There's another Calliope down here on up here on the hill here as well. Giving
Oh,
more
and
support.
Destructor's Calliopes are too focused on the infantry.
That's rough. I would like to see another fighter taking out this Calliope if we can get that happening this game, but let's see what's happening in this other lane. I focus on purely on this other lane. We see this ATG slowly grandma speeding up this hill with a artillery also pushing against the infantry on this hill. There are quite a few artillery up here. Pretty crazy amount. I've never seen three by themselves on a lane before like that. It's pretty dangerous and precarious in my opinion.
I wonder if that was intentional.
Yeah, I wonder too.
It's working for him, though. The timing happens to be just right where that ATG can't do anything about it.
That's... I need to watch. Oh, one just finally... Oh, two.
Oh.
Two
Destructor
just blew
sees
up.
it, and he's sending a 1 Calliope to destroy them all.
Alright. Back and forth, 23 minutes, 24 minutes already in this game with kind of both players on have taken 0 base damage from either player. Master's got a pretty good combo of ATG and artillery on this corner. It'd be very difficult for Destructor to take that back unless he sends maybe an artillery or Calliope up on that ridge closer to the ATG side.
Yeah, it seems like Master Gaming has a better handle on where to put the ATGs for good sniping shots.
Yep, definitely.
Destructor kind of just seems to put them down somewhere and hope that they work, more
Yep.
or less.
Yeah, I mean, he did have the 3 in lane altogether, so...
So Master Gaming's got a slight advantage out of that. Destructor's better with the Calliopes, though, I think.
Yeah, I feel so too. He's won a lot of engagements where it was 2 versus 1 with Calliopes and just purely doing the microing and moving them around correctly. He's been able to win a lot of those engagements by himself. Looks like Destructor did get a crate just now on this this point on my screen.
Possibly. I see 2 crates there.
Yeah.
No, wait, I'm sorry. There are 3 crates there, visually.
Very nice crate. Unbeatable.
I see.
Unbreakable.
We see different things.
I'm curious what it looks like for you. Alright, so, oh, here we go. Master Gaming putting an ATG again in a very good place. Very good position. Very difficult for Destructor to really, even with a long range of the Calliope, he will not be able to get that ATG where it's placed by range alone. And he's protecting it with his own Calliope. And it's getting free shots on this tower. Will take a bit of time for it to go down, but it will go down eventually.
Got another ATG and Artie. Oh, there goes the Artie. Another ATG slowly creeping up the mountain. And it's gone.
And it's gone. Beaumont versus Beaumont, ladies and gentlemen. Always fun to watch, right?
I feel like these are the most brutal matches, Beaumont versus Beaumont.
They really are. I think in WCG there was one match that lasted over an hour. It was the only match, and it was, of course, a Beaumont mirror match.
Like, it feels like you have nothing to counter your mirror opponent.
Yeah,
as
you don't.
Beaumont.
Yeah, exactly. And it's literally whoever kind of markers the Calliope better, and a lot of times the player will just send out another Calliope after he loses his, so it's just like a constant back and forth, back and forth.
And a lot of times, like we've seen in this match, one player will get the right idea, like Destructor sending out a lot of Calliopes, and Master Gaming is probably like, hey, those Calliopes are working pretty well, and then he brings out some.
Yeah.
So it's like every time you come up with a successful push, your opponent will often mirror you.
Right, yeah, and I mean, we haven't seen many normal tanks in a while because of this constant Calliope, 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 Calliope. And I think as Beaumont tanks are very cheap and do very well against pushing into bases. Like, if we saw a lot of stacking of tanks in the base and then pushed them correctly through the different ridges and into the base where there is no towers, it probably would shock the player and he'd lose, but neither player will be doing this right now.
Yep, the only difference I'm seeing right now, besides the, Master Gaming getting better use out of ATGs, Destructor better Calliopes, is Master Gaming owns the air. Not that it seems to be helping him much. It is keeping the infantry at bay, though.
Yep, on my screen, all the infantry is at bay at all times. So that's fun.
They're frozen for you.
They're in a constant state of being at bay.
Let's see. What's actually there is infantry from Master Gaming are occasionally pushing up that lane and getting slaughtered by Calliopes.
Okay. Oh man, I like this. It seems that possibly 2 fighters are on a constant strafe to take out this Jeep here. This Jeep exploded by something, I don't really know.
I think either the fighters did it or the 2 Jeeps next to it from Master Gaming.
2 Jeeps.
Yeah, there were 2 Jeeps that just blew that one up.
Okay. Oh, yep, I see that.
Possibly.
Yeah, there's definitely a big delay on my thing. Dear God.
Today we play Who Actually Knows What's Going On.
Like, it's really bizarre. Some things are in sync for me, but other things, they're in sync for you, and it's so weird.
So on the far lane, Master Gaming and Destructor's infantry is skirmishing in the middle, and no one's really making any progress.
Yep.
On the near side lane, Master Gaming's infantry is pushed up all the way to the Calliope by Destructor's base.
See a couple Calliopes engaging each other, but there's a tank by Master Gaming, so there's no doubt that he will win this engagement. But he does lose his Calliope as well, so that yeah. Oh, this is cool. There's no longer an X here, it's just a crate X.
Master Gaming pushing forward with his anti-infantry fighters. This looks like it's going Master Gaming's way, but this could turn around in a minute.
Yep.
On Master Gaming's side, he probably just needs one good push, armor push to break through.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see, as I said earlier, a lot of tanks just pushing through, focusing less on the artillery.
A lot of time the only way out of a stalemate mirror match like this is just to kind of build up a sneaky Zerg rush. It's hard to do unless you distract your opponent, though, because this isn't StarCraft and there isn't a fog of war.
Yeah, exactly. Tank here trying to take out this Calliope. Might do it. Very close. Wow, probably one or two shots.
Oh, here come the barrage.
Ah, here it is. This is the first one of the game, right? Yeah.
Yep, first barrage from Destructor.
I think it's gonna be a little delayed on my screen. Looks like
taking out a bunch.
Did he target his base, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, he took out an ATG, and the infantry trucks dodged it just in time.
All right. Ah, there it is. That's hilarious. Like, the units already died, but now the animation's finally going through for the...
Oh, you're seeing the barrage now.
Yeah, I saw the unit just explode from nothing, but now I see the actual barrage. Alright, another crate in the middle. Who gets it? I don't know.
Oh, is there a crate in the middle?
Maybe.
There's been one there for me the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know anymore. There's a push going on, right? For Master Gaming on the other side of towers?
Master Gaming is pushing those two towers, just destroyed one.
Yep, alright, so that's in sync with me.
With a bunch of tanks and an arty. Destructor doesn't seem to have any Calliopes out to defend himself, or ATGs in his base. Destructor trying to counter with regular artillery. It's a hard push, but Master Gaming does have the net worth advantage right now, by far.
Right, with Beaumont, I mean, a lot of players, I noticed this too, I talked to a lot of people that watch WCG and a lot of, these kinds of games that were first introduced to Final Assault with WCG, and they were always surprised that certain games, like they kind of thought that you have to destroy like every tower to win, and like if a player lost all towers, it was GG. But a lot of these cases, especially with Beaumont, you can kind of just take one lane of towers and like finish the game very quickly. And I think that's what you should do, because if you stack all your armor against the lane you're ready to kind of taken out, it's very easy for you to finish as Beaumont. I don't really see the benefit in attacking the towers on the other side once you're ready to take them out, unless you might disagree or agree. I'm not really sure.
It depends on what you're doing. When you take towers out, the opponent often focuses their defense where you took the towers out. So if you want to spread them thin, you might take it out on both sides.
Right. Yeah, that's a pretty good point.
And considering how thin each player is spread in this match, that actually is probably a viable strategy, because you see each player trying to push all three lanes at the same time.
Yeah, definitely true.
Like, you don't see that a lot. Like, a player will generally try to push one lane, maybe 1.5 lanes, maybe center. This one, both players are fighting over both lanes all the time.
Right. I wonder, yeah, I wonder if they should be doing that. Or it looks like Master Gaming is setting, I believe, stuff down the first clear lane finally with 2 Calliopes, 2 tanks is what I see.
Yep, that is what's there. A horde of infantry, tanks, Calliopes, all pushing that lane.
I see these tanks.
But he has another Calliope on the far lane as well. He's trying to spread Destructor's attention thin, I believe.
Oh, this might be the push we've been waiting for right here. I don't know how you can stop this, but having both sides of Calliopes is kind of like a stalemate in itself. It's kind of makes me worry though, seeing all these units stacking up together in that middle there. I'm not sure what Destructor's setting out. I see an ATG and a Jeep coming out. Not probably the best choice of unit at this time. If both Calliopes lock on the base here, which they already are seemingly doing, Destructor will finally fall.
They're going for the artillery and tank.
Okay. Just need a micro to the base. This is definitely a GG scenario, if he does so.
Yep, he's got this game if he hits the base. Oh, he's going for it.
Half health base by Destructor. Probably able to be 1/4 health base health from Destructor. And one more, and this will be it. Definitely Master Gaming will take this first game. A very long and grueling game. But he finally, earlier in the game, he turtled and took his way back. It looked pretty bad for him at a few points in the game, but he finally did take it back in this Beaumont mirror match. So we're going to try to hop into our next game right away since this one took a little long. Let's see if we can get both players in. So this next game will be... Who is it again? I think it's Master Shadow versus Splat. Yes. So we'll get right into that game right away. So let me go ahead and go to the splash screen so we don't give... So we're going to go to the splash screen so we don't give away any stuff. I know I muted my mic right before we that, but we will be back right away.
How are the mic volumes, by the way? I was lowering my mic volume in Windows. Okay. Yeah, I was listening to the stream while talking. Ah, my voice is still in the stream and yours is not.
right, here we go. The final match of the day for Challengers Cup, Group A. It'll be Splaticus versus Master Shadow or Master Gaming, whichever one you want to go by, or whatever one they want to go by. And this map will be Wallenberg, and I do believe they both chose. Yep, wait. Yeah, okay, that confused me for a second. That was a different map for a second. But yeah, this is again another very good map for Beaumont, which is why both players will do the mirror match yet again.
Assault, everybody.
Yep, Beaumont Assault, lads. Almost forgot to unmute the desktop audio, but we got it now. All right. So Splaticus is doing what I like to do a lot. I just literally get right up on close to that garage, see what's going on. I do believe both players are probably just gonna like upgrade early here, especially since neither player is spawning anything. Oh wait, no. Splaticus is sending out a single tank. Nope. A bunch of tanks. See, this is what I like to see from a Beaumont right here. This is what feels good to see. I like this. Whenever I play Beaumont, I like to spam 5 tanks out at the beginning. That feels nice.
Oh, and Master Gaming answers it.
Ah, so we got 3 tanks and 1 artillery from Master Gaming. The artillery in concordance with the tanks had a good nice AoE chunk. We also see artillery coming from Splaticus as well. This is gonna be a nice first battle of the game. I always love seeing this right at the beginning. We're gonna see some tanks and some artillery. See if any AoE is misrepresented here, but I worry about Master Gaming. He has these 3 things very close together, and the artillery is currently locking on. He is finally getting them out of the way. Let's see what... Alright, all 3 tanks take 1 shot from that artillery. He is targeting the artillery as well. Okay, so Master Gaming's artillery is already down, so he loses that AoE presence. He's going straight in with his 3 tanks. 1 tank will go down in 1 more shot, but they are all grouped up together, and the artillery does go down, but takes out nearly all the tanks left over. Oh, Splaticus also, while this is happening, we get a loot crate drop here in the middle. Splaticus just sneaks with his 1 tank left, grabs that, and takes out a tank. All in all, Splaticus does seem to be making out with the best situation. Meanwhile, on the bottom, we also have Master Gaming taking back this hill. There's only 1 tank here by Splaticus. He sends it back after both tanks were taking some free damage. But, so, looks like Splaticus has lost the map control game in the middle and left side, but did get the net worth gain. He got that free crate, and we are seeing the first anti-tank gun coming out from this top lane, as well as a tank push as well. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks like Master Gaming is keeping up the try to control all 3 lanes strategy, while Splaticus is specifically going for whichever lane he wants to push, or 2 lanes.
Yep, definitely. We are seeing artillery coming from this bottom lane, or coming to this bottom lane with the tanks. Interesting thing is he has the 2 tanks in a loop, but what I like to do, this might be something other players do or don't like to do, is since there's a ramp on kind of near the tower, you can set your tanks on a loop to take pot shots at the tower and back up before the tower locks onto them with the tower damage, which is always fun to do. So be able to take out that tower a little bit faster. But ATG's getting some shots on this tower is 1 shot from death up from this other ATG, and Master Gaming's ATG survives with a little sliver of health there.
Yeah, you can actually... The tank has a little bit more range than the tower, I think, with its machine gun. So if you distance it just right, you can shoot at it without being shot at back.
Yep.
It's not a lot of damage, but if it's uncontested, it'll just take out the tower with hardly any effort.
Yep, definitely agree. Splaticus has a single fighter here, keeping this lane on the bottom pushed out infantry-wise. Artillery is continuing to... Oh, artillery is misfiring at infantry. It's not microed onto the tower anymore, because I guess he had to move it for reasons. We are seeing a Calliope also going on this bottom lane, locking onto his artillery. That will go down very fast. We'll probably also start targeting the tanks as well, but tanks are fleeing as fast as they can. They're terrified of that artillery barrage coming from the Calliope.
Yep. Or 1 Calliope is pretty scary versus basic units.
Yep, and due to the fact that only one artillery was attacking this tower, that tower does not actually go down. It's still got a pretty sizable chunk of health, about 40 to 35% health. But this Calliope microwing from Splaticus is very obscene, just taking out a lot of units without barely taking any damage back. We are seeing Master Gaming's Calliope is coming forth, is targeting on the Calliope, and Splaticus just notices, takes a lot of damage already from the Calliope, so he's at a disadvantage here. And I do think that as long as Master Gaming's Calliope continues to lock on this Splaticus Calliope, we'll take it out.
Nope, looks like it barely survived.
Barely, dear God. Alright, meanwhile, there's also another Splaticus Calliope in the middle, just kind of pushing out the lanes as well with the infantry. Nothing else it can really shoot at right now. Maybe the tower from that hill, but he's not choosing to do so at this moment.
Adding some basic arty to the middle mountain.
We're back at the Calliope versus Calliope 2 versus 1. Splat has 2, Master 1, but is still getting pretty good damage on both of them. A lot of cool microwing from the Calliopes in this game. I see a lot of back and forth. That one Calliope is very close to death, but we also see a Jeep mixed in with the Calliopes. We don't see that very often. We should see it more, but that Calliope barely gets out with a sliver of health.
Jeep assault coming from Master Gaming.
Oh yeah, boys, here we go. We got the cavalry going in, but unfortunately does not work out in his favor at this moment, but could have. He's targeting the ATG, and the Calliope that was targeting the ATG does get taken out by a single Jeep. But a lot of cool mixes of units attacking each other. This is definitely a more interesting Beaumont mirror, in my opinion, than the last one already.
Yeah, they've definitely got different styles on this. Like, you see Splaticus bringing out some Jeeps, like, hey, I'm going to take out your Calliope with a Jeep while we have a Calliope duel. And then Master Gaming's like, oh, fine, I'll send 3 Jeeps.
Yeah. Alright, so we did see a lot of map control earlier from Master, but Splaticus has completely taken over. Ever since he gotten all these Calliopes out, he's shown a little bit better micro with them, but that does not mean he's that Master is out of the game. We did see last game that he came back from purely a turtle and pushed from that in that long game. He has 3 Jeeps on this one point. I guess I don't know if there was a drop there and he didn't get it. I think it was a different drop according to what I see, but the Calliope's taken out all 3 Jeeps. That is $12 loss, kind of like worth 1 artillery unit. So not much use from those Jeeps in that moment.
Yep, Splaticus winning the tower war.
We see a lot of these Calliopes are super low health. It might actually be pretty neat to see if Master Gaming decides to strafe with these planes kind of flying in the air. I think 2 strafes from a plane will actually take them out. Okay, we are seeing a lot more Jeeps coming out. Those Jeeps will definitely, if that Jeep makes it, we'll take it out. Very nice Jeep usage from both players this game. We also see a tank trying to take out this one Calliope. Does not do so. So there's a lot of Jeeps this game. I would love to see all the stats of how many Jeeps would spawn this game compared to last game. Splaticus is making his way closer to the base with his Calliopes here. Has already taken out 3 of Master Gaming's tower, almost 4.
Yep, only 2 towers left. Splaticus definitely has the upper hand on this map.
Yep, we see a lot of just constant barrage of armor pushing one by one in these lanes. The Calliopes are coming as well. 1 Calliope is on this top hill. Actually, I see 1, 2, 3. 3 on this top hill, but 2 of them are low health, so he's keeping them more of a defensive while setting 1 at a time to keep on the pushing. So Master Gaming has only 1 more tower, and it's at 55% HP.
And Splaticus has a huge infantry push on the mountainside. Looks like Master Gaming has not been building up his infantry, so all things equal, the infantry will tip the balance.
Yep, definitely. We are seeing 3 tanks from Splaticus coming in support of this Calliope. Probably will eventually stack up these units and do the final push. That's probably what he's thinking. Meanwhile, he's also setting 2 tanks down this middle extra lane. So I think he might be trying to do this to distract the player to one lane, and meanwhile we'll be able to push the other lane while that distraction is happening.
Yep, I think you're right. Splaticus just switched all his infantry trucks to the windy lane from the mountain lane. So while
like
Master Gaming is busy trying to fight back that mountain lane, Splaticus has tanks, Calliopes, and infantry pushing the barracks lane, or fortress lane.
Oh wait, what is this? We are seeing an artillery barrage as well from Splaticus. This is probably going to be in concordance with a final push. Maybe. Seems to get... What does he get out of that? I don't think he got anything.
He got nothing, but he did scare the Calliope out of the base, and now he's going to take it out with the tanks.
Yep, that Calliope is kind of his last high defense. There is something else coming out of the garage. There's also the single artillery. Nope, these are just tanks. There's still Calliope alive, and if that Calliope is micro correctly, he's targeting the artillery. Tanks are pretty close to the artillery. There's a Jeep coming, though. That Jeep is very scary for this Calliope. He gets the crate, and I think his Jeep might take it out. Nope, just barely. Barely leaves a sliver of health on the Splat's final Calliope on this hill. We are seeing an ATG coming as well on this hill. Probably to stop any of these tanks coming by.
Yeah, that was a nice defense on Master Gaming's part. That looked like it was about to be a game-ending push.
Yeah, it was very close. I think Splaticus had a plan going there, but the tanks he had were stacked a little bit too close to each other, and the artillery as well as the single Calliope that did eventually die kind of stopped that push very quickly. And he was planning.
Yeah, he had all the pieces in place. He had the infantry rush, the tanks, the Calliope, and the artillery. They weren't quite in sync, though. Like, if they were synchronized, it would have done a lot more, but that is really hard to synchronize in an attack like that.
We are seeing that even though he put all those troop trucks in that bottom lane, Master has had this single plane kind of the whole game strafing this lane, so our infantry will not be able to push far. We are seeing Splaticus is finally trying to take out this plane, having a little bit of trouble doing so for a reason, a certain reason, that the plane will not fire. But yeah, we are seeing more tanks coming down this lane. A single Calliope still with that sliver of health. I'm pretty sure that's just one flight strafe. And you can also use fighter strafes in a U shape to do double the damage of a strafe. So if he did a U with a single fighter onto that Calliope, he would actually kill it. Alright, we are seeing a push from Master Gaming onto this tower over here as well. I don't even know if Splaticus notices yet. It does not look like he's staring over there. A bit of tunnel vision happening on this bottom lane here.
Yep, and that Calliope and infantry from Master Gaming might take out a tower. Oh, Splaticus noticed. Here comes the Jeep Brigade.
Oh yeah! I need to get a soundboard and get some like horse cavalry music whenever I see this going on.
That'd be great.
Alright, yeah, that Calliope, there's no way it's making out of this mess. Jeeps will probably take a lot of damage from the infantry, though. You kind of send them back. The infantry will do a lot of damage to Jeeps over time.
Yeah, a lot of players I notice treat Jeeps as like expendable, and they'll send them off to do a mission, then just leave them there, like leave them on a point where they're going to get killed eventually.
I agree. I do see a lot of new players do that too. And I think it's even if you have one Jeep and you send it out, you get a crate. You should send it right back to your base to save it for later, because you can use that Jeep to get even more crates. Theoretically, no reason to spend another $4.
Yeah, because your opponent will kill it eventually. Either he'll send 2 Jeeps or a tank. It's not, it's not like you're just going to own that point just because you have a Jeep on it.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
They're cheap, but you can save so much money if you send them back, or like when you run for a crate, if you don't have to build the Jeep and you send it out like as soon as the crate's dropping rather than build it and send it out, you'll get a significant speed advantage.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. So if you're listening and want to learn more of the little small tactics, that is a definitely good tactic. Send a Jeep out, especially early game, send it out, get that free crate, and send it right back after you do so. Don't leave it there.
And you never know when you're going to want like a brigade of 5 Jeeps.
Yeah.
with Beaumont, it's especially useful because you get a free Jeep with every ATG, so put those Jeeps to work.
Yeah, I see a lot of players just kind of leaving the Jeep stationary. I like to put a Jeep in a loop around my ATGs, just for a little bit more dodging in case any units come, and give it a little bit more defenses for maybe other Jeeps that might come for the ATGs. Or you can just send it back. I love all these Jeeps this game. This is great. This is a great game, man. So many Jeeps, so many Calliopes. It's fun seeing tiny little Jeeps take out Calliopes no matter what.
Yeah, they're pretty good at it too because they can dodge the. It's hard. It's still hard to do with a Jeep because the rockets will hit you with splash damage, but a few Jeeps at different spots, avoiding the splash of each other's rockets.
Yeah, definitely. We are seeing that. Similar to last game, Master Gaming has perfected the art of turtling with Beaumont, and Slack is having trouble getting into the base. And over time, I mean, earlier this game, Splat had a ton of map control. He had the bottom hill, he had the middle. He currently only barely has the middle. No units in the bottom except that tiny sliver of health Calliope near his towers. And Master Gaming's kind of trying his best to push out from this turtle, and probably will be able to do so very soon. What's very neat about Jeeps as well, the Calliope is trying to target the Jeep, and by doing so is not focusing on the units he probably should be focusing on. Is taking a lot of damage from his enemy Calliope, and the ACG finally takes it out because it was so focused on that $4 Jeep.
Yeah, that is a great use of a Jeep, just to take fire while your heavy hitters go after it.
Yeah, it's great. I love Jeeps, man. I remember when I first started playing this game, I used to try to incorporate Jeeps in everything I did, and it was always fun. And it didn't work most of the time because a lot of players played Gallon at that time, but I mean, it was still fun. And I hope players, when they're watching this game, a lot of newer players, if they're watching, I hope they do use Jeeps a little bit more.
Yeah, for the longest time, to me, the Jeep was only to grab crates.
Yeah.
It took a long time before I actually started taking advantage of what Jeeps are good at, besides grabbing crates.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, back when I played, like I said, when I started playing, the meta has shifted a lot over the few months I've been playing a lot. I remember when I first started, it was Gallant every game, and then it turned into Simmons every game, and now it's Beaumont every game. But apparently players are reporting that Nichols is being played more, which might be my fault. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to the people that are playing against the Nichols, because a lot of players that play Nichols first time are usually very bad at it. But I'm just sorry that players are picking Nichols. I'm sorry that made you want to play Nichols. That character's garbage. So.
Oh, here's a final push from Splaticus trying to end the game.
Yeah, it might be
barrage,
perfect. Very
and
good
a horde
barrage.
of tanks. Great timing, great push. It looks like he's getting in.
Yeah, I think he will. I don't think... look at this one ATG on the other side, still shooting on the other side of the base, but the Calliope is firing. We'll get a few shots.
Oh, that is doing some serious damage.
Yeah, that is some serious... Oh, the Calliope! Defense Calliope's attacking the infantry. One more, I think. One more. No, focus the base. No.
Oh, it's still there. It's still alive. It's shooting it. Oh no, that's the other one. The explosion happened, and it's like another Calliope appeared right where the first one was. I thought it was still alive.
Oh man.
The interesting thing in this game is when there's a big explosion, you just cannot see anything under that explosion.
I know, you don't know if your units are surviving or what's going on.
You just try to grab them and pull them out and hope they're still there.
Dear Lord, that is 3 Calliopes, only 2 left. Target the base. He is targeting the base. I think if he gets this and uses a base artillery attack on it, he got it. And there it is!
Oh.
I knew it! I knew it! Oh, the worst way to end.
Base super ability, it's over.
Alright, Splaticus does it. He takes out Master Gaming, Master Shadow. And that is... Wait. That is GG.
Who won the last game?
The last game was won by I don't remember. But anyway, GG. That was a great game to watch. I think that's a lot of players want to like learn how to play Beaumont or like Beaumont versus Beaumont. This was a great game. A lot of cool Jeep usage. A lot of cool micro from both players. This was one of the few times I enjoyed watching a Beaumont mirror match. So great job to both players this game. And thanks for all the players for playing today in day one.
Wait. Beastrix says it's a tie, and we're gonna have more games.
A tie. Okay. All right. Sorry. I knew this. 3-way. Wait. How does what? Oh my God. No. Oh shoot. How does this work? Okay. Alrighty. Oh my God. I wasn't ready for this today. Oh. Okay. So how's this work? Who plays who is my question.
Hey, Photo, who plays next?
Can I turn up myself and game volume? Maybe I just need to come closer to the mic. That might be a big game volume.
Turn up.
Can turn up. That one's easy.
Wait, can Brad turn up him? Can Brad turn up himself, you mean?
Yeah, I think that's what he means. And
oh,
I can
because
put this down. Let me see. Here, we'll talk real quick.
Talking.
Okay, I think I matched it up perfectly this time.
All right, cool. Yeah.
All right. Another set of round robin until. Dude, I wasn't ready for this. No, I got stuck. Okay. I don't know if I can stream these matches. I didn't plan for this today.
I mean, I could continue streaming, and I think.
I think. Yeah, I feel really bad, but like I thought it was only gonna be these 3 matches. I didn't think I'd have to do another 3. Maybe you and Photo can get together to stream the rest of them today.
Yeah, maybe, unless Photo did say he had to go at 4, but he's still here, so maybe he doesn't.
Yep. So I'm unfortunately gonna have to go. So I'll let gnuman. I'm gonna I'm gonna leave you to do it. But yeah. Replay everything. Oh my God. What if this happens all day, man? You'll even know if the next round robin's gonna forever tie. Anyway.
I mean, it could. We might be here till like midnight.
Jeez. All right. Thank you though for co-casting. Sorry to leave you, but I kind of had plans tonight, so I will let you all figure out what happens next, and theoretically the stream will continue either by gnuman or maybe someone else or whatever happens. So that's just it for me. SadlyItsBradley. Yeah, we'll probably be right back. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I'll still be here. I'm ready to cast.
All right, gnuman's gonna host, so the stream should come back up as soon as he can get it up. So thanks for watching, and continue watching, please.
All right.